Excuse me. Hope everybody's doing okay. This is function evaluation. It's a problem you're going to see on a test coming up. Be prepared for it. Basically, in this problem, they give you several functions. Notice each function has a different name. This is function called f, function called g, function called h. They all work on a variable input of x. That's all good. And what they want you to do is find the value of these functions at a particular point on the x-axis. That's all it's asking is, if I give you an x value, what is the corresponding y value? And the thing to keep in mind here, really the thing they're testing is this whole Euler notation of naming functions, f, g, and h. So if it asks for g, don't use the f function, don't use the h function, use the g function. Put the 3 in where the x is and see what kind of number you get. And that's all we're going to do. So this says use the g function and put a 3 in wherever you see an x. So simple enough. Here's our g function, 3 minus 1 instead of x minus 1, 3 plus 5 instead of x plus 5, 3 minus 1 is 2, 3 and 5 is 8, that simplifies to 1/4. That's all there is to it. The key is, do you understand this notation? Do you understand that this tells you which function to use? This tells you what to replace the x with. In this case, we're just replacing it with a number, and it really doesn't get much simpler than that. Okay, f's a log function. A couple different ways we can do this. So let's first just do the substitution. It's asking for the log base 2 of 32. Now, the easiest way to do this is just simply recognize that 32 is a power of 2, and you can figure that out in your head, what to raise or what exponent to put on 2 to get to 32. Should be a 5. But if that doesn't ring a bell, then the easiest thing to do is use what's called the change of base. We're using a base 2. Your calculator may or may not be able to do a base 2, so you can always do a base 10, a common log. So we use a common log 32 divided by the common log of 2, and if you crunch that out in your calculator, I'm sure it will tell you that the answer is simply 5. So either way you go about it, you could skip this step. It's totally understandable with this problem because I think a lot of people, especially if you've had a computer science course, would recognize that 32 is a power of 2. Don't worry about it if you don't. Use the change of base, get the right answer. Finally, h at 2. Make sure you use the h function. Replace the x with the 2. So now we have 2 squared minus 2 times 2. It's equal to 4 minus 4. And we would just call that 0. It's not undefined. That is actually the number 0. It evaluates to a very nice real number. A lot of people's favorite real number is 0. That's a fact. And that's it.